as of the most recent chapter for 100 Years Quest, we have a new, I kind of put in quotation marks, form for Wendy. And first off, I wanted to say, like, people, for one, need to be a little bit more patient. Hiroshima has, time and time again, like to leave stuff up on cliffhangers so you can speculate and get ideas, guessing of where stuff is gonna end up like being explained and whatnot. Again, I think to me the easiest example is because it was back-to-back chapters was when we first saw Ignia's arm come out, he's got Natsu in hand, and people are like, oh my god, Ignia's back, I can't believe Hiroshima gonna bring him back to life. And then it was revealed to be Ignia, and they're like, oh, completely different dragon? Okay, I can't believe we jumped the gun on that one. And then, oh, well, how is this guy even existent? Igni'll never mentioned. This doesn't make any sense. And then, one chapter later, we got an explanation that made 100% sense. So, all I want to say is, when it comes to this new, again, quote-unquote, form for Wendy, be patient. I mean, the whole end of the chapter got left off like this, so you wonder why and how she's able to do this. It's the level of impatience of, not of when we get it, and then you complain like this doesn't make canonical sense, this contradicts so-and-so and such and whatever actually happened or something. It's like, no, you don't know yet, so calm down. There are some theories that I would like to put out as kind of like an idea of what exactly, this whole, again, quote-unquote form does/came from. Possibly the first one being the kind of an equivalent to Natsu when he had Ignil in his body and Ignil had some of his power left over. It's a little bit different from that, because though her and Irene swapped bodies, they had the respective magic of the original body. So Irene, obviously was much weaker than she was in, her own body while she was in Wendy's body. But maybe it has something to do more with, enchanting capabilities. Like, maybe she'd be able to use kind of, her level of enchantments. Because it's kind of like a part 2 of that idea is, because they swapped bodies, it was souls. They still had the same organs, and obviously their brains were in the exact same bodies as when the souls originated from them. So Wendy's brain should have recorded information of Irene's thoughts while she, during the time that she was inside of Wendy's body. So maybe this enchant, because she's talking about, she even says the residual thought, magical energy, and the enchantment of it. Maybe she's like, oh well, I'm essentially enchanting my brain. Because we already know Wendy's enchanting can do the extent of affecting brains, as we saw when Mary tried to use her black magic on Lucy, and she's like, she talks about how it can eat flesh, and she's gonna put it directly in her brain. But Wendy ended up dispelling it, and then maybe she's pretty much unlocking the part that has Irene's memories, so she'll be able to use enchantments that she knows that Wendy didn't, or Wendy doesn't. Maybe some of the Berserker buff or something. Anything in there, it's like, oh, Wendy can access this now. Only because the fact that Irene was in her body for a period of time, and those thoughts are within said brain. There's also the possibility that, personally, I actually would probably... It's kind of hard, because when I say this, because for some of the characters, they're all kind of going down their own kind of paths. Funny enough, the only one that's kind of nervous about getting stronger is Natsu after the whole incident when he didn't have control, can barely keep any form of focus and grasp on his own capabilities during the Mercephobia fight. Gray's trying to get strong enough to protect Juvia so he can be with her. You got Lucy and Urza busting out these new abilities, and with Wendy, you can either get this idea of her gaining new enchantments through memories of Irene when she was in her body, which is cool because Wendy becoming getting up to that full high enchantress status, and then eventually becoming a master enchantress, but also the potential possibility of the fact that if you remember when Irene was in Wendy's body, she could use dragon slaying magic to a much further extent than Wendy could. Remember back when Wendy was fighting Easel, and she talked about how all the air within their zone was in her control. She's like, all it was everything within my space is under my control. And Irene had like more of a control on that because she could just straight fly. She could use wind to just completely like control objects around her, and it's that extent that maybe Wendy will be able to achieve, because Irene casually like having full grasp on Wendy's like hidden potential was more than what we've seen otherwise from Wendy. So maybe while in this form, she'll have that same knowledge of like how to use her dragon slaying magic. And I like the idea of Wendy being able to advance herself, through kind of using past events and intelligence, and obviously she's going to be evolving dragon slaying powers. But it's cooler than this is, in my opinion, cooler than just saying like, oh, a further buffed version of Dragon Force. She's just slightly further down the line. Maybe she's got a wing or something. She's got like, I don't know. Well, she got like a big dress of feathers. I guess I couldn't complain. She probably looked real cute. I love Wendy. She's a really good character, and especially like in the chapter when she was, going over about how she was ashamed of her overestimation of herself, and that whole thing. Though her managed to help her drive forward, that was fantastic. She's such a really good character. But as it is, we're gonna have to wait. Was it 12 more days? Actually, no, 11 and a half days, and probably 11 by the time I put this video up. But Wendy, she absolutely, I think people are giving her a really unjust time right now, just because it's like, it's a cliffhanger on purpose, my guy. You gotta be a little patient and wait until the next chapter, because it's not like this is the first time Mishima has left everybody on a cliffhanger that makes them go, oh crap, what's, how is this gonna work out? What's the story on this? How does this make sense? So comment below, tell me your thoughts are about this whole theory, what you think this form is really going to do for Wendy. Because whereas with Ursa's dragon slaying sword, it was more of like just a sword of dragon slaying magic that she had, homage to her mother. I'm guessing that with the fact that it's she talked about like the thought, residual thought enchantments, and the fact that it's like Irene almost in body, it's going to have more to do with like the fact that she was in her body for a certain period of time doing enchantments. Maybe she can use those enchantments as well. But anyway, well, it'd be awesome if she just dropped Deuce Sen on Nebel, big ass meteor. But as it is, otherwise, comment below, thumbs up the video. I really appreciate the like button and the subscribe button. And check out my other videos. But I appreciate when he's already subscribed. And I thank y'all for listening. Bye.